There are questions from the internet. People ask when I'm having a guest, I get questions. Zako ni mingi.
That's okay. I'm here.
Zako ni mingi sana. They are what? They are edited for so that you understand them well. So number one, I hope this cap is being seen for my sponsor.
Inaonekana? Okay.
Yeah. Number one, should men go 50-50 on bills, or is it a sign of weakness if they can't provide fully?
No, I don't think you should go 50-50 on bills. If you're going 50-50 on bills as a man, you're already paired with the wrong woman. That woman is above your age class. And
it's above you.
Yeah, you shouldn't be with her. Because you see, women want men who are better than them. Remember, talk to any woman. They'll tell you, I want a man who is 6 foot tall. 6 foot is just a standard in quotes. Of course, very few men are 6 foot tall. But they want men who are taller than them. All women, at least 99% of women want men who are taller than them. They want you, of course, to be stronger than them. They want you to be more educated than them, more intelligent than them, more accomplished than them. That means she wants a leader. She doesn't want her equal. So women don't want their equal. If you're splitting 50-50, it means you are equal. That means that woman is not going to be happy.
And she's going to leave you eventually.
She may not leave, but she'll be frustrated. Maybe you'll raise children who are not yours. Because they have various ways of punishing beta males.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Many women do that. They can be very vindictive.
Beta males?
Yes.
Beta males are the broke ones?
Yeah, beta male, you may not be broke, but you don't have the characteristics of an alpha. She sees you as a not the best option for her. So she could be paired with you for various reasons. Maybe you used to be an alpha, but now you've become lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've lost your standing.
Yeah, you've lost your standing.
Yeah. Another guy is asking, in 2025, is marriage still a necessity for me?
A guy is asking?
Yeah.
No.
Do I really need to marry?
You don't need to marry.
What is the underlying question here that the guy is really asking for?
Okay.
Asking? Could he be asking a different question from what we are reading?
It's possible. But, marriage is a contract. Marriage is a contract. As a contract, it is really not necessary. It's not good for men. What you can have is long-term relationships, and you can have children with women who are willing to have children with you. Have an arrangement of how you're going to raise those children and how you're going to share your resources and the values you people have without involving the government. Yeah.
I feel like women are so entitled in modern relationships. Or are we men just refusing to step up?
There are, of course, women who are entitled. Okay? The same way you have women who are gold diggers, we have women who are exploiters, we have women who are loose and so on. That is okay. The important thing is, if you have a problem with the entitled women, don't date them. Because they'll always be the same way. You have men who are violent, you have men who are lazy, you have men who are broke. Don't complain about them, just don't date them. Yeah.
My woman wants me to cook and embrace traditional gender roles. Do you agree, or these are outdated going into 2025?
Any woman who wants you to cook does not respect you. She
Really?
sees you as a beta male. Yeah.
Cook, clean.
Yeah. She sees you as a beta male, or she's testing you. That's called a shit test.
A shit test?
Yeah, she wants to check, do I have an alpha or a beta? If you fail the test, you become a beta male.
I saw a picture of a woman talking so much about how a man that was cooking for her.
Yeah, that's a beta male. And women also want beta males, but they want you for a different purpose than the alphas. That's why I'm telling you, so many men fail paternity tests, because many of them are beta males. Yeah.
If a woman earns more than me, does that automatically change the power dynamics in a relationship?
Yes.
You want more coffee?
No. The answer is yes.
How so?
Because now she's the one who wields the power in terms of how do you spend your money. She's the one who is now the provider, in a sense. She's taken over your role as a provider. Because women are supposed to bring their beauty to the relationship, and the man is supposed to bring resources and leadership.
Yeah.
So if now she has more resources than you, then you have failed as a man. The important thing is how do you deal with that? Because many men some men deal with it by becoming violent, and so on and so forth. As a man, you just need to realize what has happened, have situational awareness, and you need to have ways of dealing with that so that it does not become a permanent feature in your relationship or in your marriage. Yeah.
My woman is always telling me to express vulnerability. Vulnerability, cry, and
Don't do it. Don't do it. That's a very bad idea.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't appear vulnerable in
Yeah,
front of a
don't.
woman.
It won't. It does. It just lowers your attraction.
Don't cry.
Don't cry. Don't cry. You can cry, but people normally don't understand this. It's okay for a man to cry. Just don't cry in front of your woman.
Really?
Yeah, don't do it. There are cases, like extreme cases, where someone has died in the family. You can cry, but don't cry like you've been fired. You've lost your job, or the business has failed, or you're frustrated. Don't do such a thing.
Really?
That is very wrong. Yeah, don't do that. Don't also express your frustrations, maybe in the workplace. Tell your boss disrespected you, or you don't like your job, and so on. Deal with that. Don't burden your woman with that. Because a woman wants to know that she has a competent man. She has a man who knows how to solve his problems. And is a man who is not stuck or stagnated. So don't do it. The women will tell you that, but remember what I told you. The things women tell you and the things they want are not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why as a man you need to, a leader listens to himself. You see, like when you're driving a vehicle or a matatu, you don't ask passengers, twende hivi ama hivi. They'll say, this driver in a gani. He doesn't know where we are going. You see, a woman wants to know that the guy who is leading her knows where you're going. Yeah, so when you start expressing your confusion and frustrations, she loses confidence in you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm struggling between being a gentleman and simping. Yeah. What is the difference?
Okay. A gentleman respects himself and he also respects other people. That's who a gentleman is. A simp only respects women.
Really?
Yes. So, there are many reasons why men simp. Some people simp because they are dick driven. They just want that pussy and they can't risk losing it. There are men who simp because they don't have options. They have no optionality. They can't get any other woman, so they're operating from scarcity. There are men who simp because of one-nighties. Okay? They think this is the only woman that they ever have, and so on. So because of that, they can tolerate disrespect, bad behavior, and they pedestalize women. So that's the difference between simping and being a gentleman.
Do you believe that nice guys will still finish last?
Always.
The nice guy is the simp.
Pardon?
The nice guy is the simp.
No. You can be a nice guy without being a simp. A simp is worse than a nice guy. A nice guy is just someone who is not disagreeable. He doesn't like conflict. He likes saying yes, yes, yes. But a simp goes further. Pedestalizes a woman. He's very needy. He's very necessitous. He has no options and so on.
Are men judged too harshly for avoiding relationships, or is that a sign of emotional immaturity?
Are men judged by who? By society?
Yeah, I think.
I think women are actually judged more harshly compared to men for avoiding relationships. Because, as I said earlier, women are beauty objects. They have menopause. Men don't have a pause. Men start producing sperms at puberty, and they produce it until they die. Many men, like Charles Njonjo, married in his 50s, and he saw his grandchildren. A woman who marries in her 50s will never have children unless she adopts. Yeah.
Or unless she froze her eggs.
Yeah, which is also not working very well for them.
It's not?
Yeah, it is not.
They're stealing the eggs, or the eggs are dying?
Many women who've frozen their eggs, I've seen so many of them expressing frustration when they do the IVF. It's actually not bringing forth the fetuses that they expect. So yeah, I think it's maybe a technology that is still being refined.
Yeah. I love your book. I've read your books and I really love them. But I've got one question. You seem to be telling me to prioritize wealth before dating.
Yeah, of course. Men need to prioritize their wealth before they date, because when you do that, in the process of building wealth, you also build confidence, because you establish trust with yourself. You know what you're capable of, and you also build a masculine frame. And a masculine frame here means you sort of have a kingdom. You have your resources, you have your house, you have a name, you probably have status in the society. People recognize you, people know who you are. So when you get a woman at that point, then the woman can fit into your frame and she'll feel more secure being in that particular relationship. You'll be able to take care of her and the children that you will have. So it's very important because the love of women is consumptive. Women come to consume. Okay? That's why you have so many guys when they're abandoned and this is a broke man telling the woman, why are you leaving me? You know I love you. The woman asks you, hiyo love yako mtoto atakula. Okay? Because remember, I told you women are survivors. They need to they prioritize their survival imperatives. So if you cannot enhance her survival, she's not going to find you very useful. And that's why it's important to prioritize that wealth. Otherwise, you end up being in a very frustrating relationship with a woman.
Yeah. This is an interesting question. Mwambia Bwana Aliet, congratulations on the beautiful books that he has written. I feel like a lot of podcast interviewers are not taking advantage of other parts or other areas of life in Aliet. Does he only know about women and men, or are there other issues that he can talk about, politics and etc.?
I love that question, by the way. Is that asked by a man or a woman? We don't
know.
That's why I'm writing Unplugged 4, Religion. And many people have told me not to write the book because they're telling me that I should stick to issues of masculinity. People have the tendency to pigeonhole others. You see, when you do something, then they think that's what you should do and that's what you are good at. But there's a French philosopher, Jean-Paul Sartre, who talked about something called mauvais foi, bad faith. He spoke about a waiter who he was in a restaurant one day and he looked at a waiter in a uniform serving people. And he said that this waiter thinks that he's a waiter, but he's only a waiter because he's decided to be a waiter. He can be so many other things. He can be a surgeon and so on. So even for me, I've actually spent more time reading science, archaeology, textual criticism, and history compared to how much time I've spent on intersexual dynamics. In fact, I think my contribution in Unplugged 4 will leave a lasting legacy for me compared to what I've done so far. So absolutely, it's coming. And like I told you, it's the first book that I know of that is going to combine science and religion. Most books of science are only about science. Most books about religion are only about religion. But I'll bring the two together, to basically give a holistic picture of who we are. How did we come to be here? How did we end up here? And it will answer several questions. I was telling someone yesterday, I'm writing that book for my 24-year-old version when I left university. I had so many questions that I could not get answers for. Now I want to answer those questions in Unplugged 4.
Yeah. I want to listen to Aliet on a long drive to the coast. This guy doesn't have audio?
Yeah. Does he mean a podcast? Because
audio. I think audio of your book.
It means audible. Yeah. So yeah, that we are working on that. I have that one in the pipeline.
I think I can help you with that.
Oh, okay. So we can discuss it then.
We can discuss it. The last question, which is really long, I would like to ask Aliet about the issue of femicide in Kenya, and I've got 3 questions. Number 1, do you believe that what we are having in the country is femicide, or we should just talk about homicide?
It's just homicide. It's not femicide. You see, the problem is, in all cases, now, before, in future, the men who are killed by men are always more than the women that men are killing. Okay? And women are also killing men. There are very many cases of women who are killing men. But we don't call it andricide or androcide. Okay? It's just murder, it is manslaughter, whatever it is. So I think that is just part of victimhood of women where they want to make everything about them. But when people commit homicide, it's not because it's a woman. They're not killed because they are women. They're just killed for various reasons depending on the context. There's no one who wakes up in the morning and says, today I'm going to kill a woman. Then he picks a random woman and kills her. No. That is now what will be femicide. When you're being killed because you are a woman. Most of the times it's just disputes gone wrong, where someone is exercising poor judgment, or something that starts as a physical altercation ends up in a homicide. Sometimes they are planned, sometimes they are not planned, and so on and so forth. We have the guy who was put in a septic tank. Very public. Very many men have been killed by women, but we don't call them infanticide. They're just murders, and they should be treated as such. So they're homicides.
Do you think that in the case of these femicides, there are things that women can be blamed for?
I don't know what blaming means, but I don't think you can
I
just...
think what it means is that, for example, a woman and a man goes to the coast, the man pays the flight, pays everything, they go to the coast into a hotel, and the woman refuses to have sex with her.
Oh, yes. Those ones are there. And I think we had the case that I've written in Unplugged One, the case of Shafiweru and DJ Mfalme, because there was that case of this woman who... She chewed the guy's money when he wanted to have sex. She refused. She jumped off the window and she broke her leg. And Kina Shafiweru were telling women, don't entertain strangers. And they were fired for that. So those cases are there. I know of cases where women escalate violence intentionally, like in clubs. You see, you can find two women starting to just squabble and quarrel among themselves. Men normally try to avoid violence because they know violence can end in death and so on. But women feel that when they have men around them, those are like bodyguards and they don't care. So they start fights, not knowing that fights can end up in homicide. So that I've seen that happening a lot, where many men are drawn into fights that someone ends up dead just because women were instigating it. So many times women don't understand the danger of violence, and so they don't avoid it as much as men do. In cases where you find where men are involved, for example, you won't find men insulting each other in a very careless manner, like when in mjinga and so on, because men realize that when you do that, it can end up in violence. And that violence, once it starts, you don't know how it will end up. But women do that all the time. You'll find them just beginning a fight for nothing. And then now their men jump in to defend them, and it escalates. So I can say that happens sometimes. Sometimes a lot of we have cases where we had the case in let me not mention the hotel, but the hotel is in Mombasa Road, where some men were being blamed for starting a war, a fight in a hotel.
Yeah.
And this happened until a CCTV footage was pulled out. And you could see the men were very calm. It was women who were fighting until they dragged the men into that particular fight, and now cars were smashed and some women were beaten and so on. So there are cases where women instigate some of these episodes. Yeah.
The last question, the same guy. I don't know whether it's a woman. Gosh, I don't know. I think it sounds like a man. As somebody who speaks to men directly, what do you say about men who get violent with women?
I think it's something that all men should avoid. Don't get violent with a woman. Mainly because you are stronger than her.
Yeah.
And also because you're stronger than her, and when you're in a fit of rage, many times you're not able to measure maybe your blows and so on. You can end up killing her. Many men, that's why they talk about seeing red. You can see red. By the time now red disappears, someone is dead. So it is very, very dangerous, and it's something that should be avoided. Women are very emotional, and sometimes they don't appreciate the kind of danger they put themselves in by drawing a man into a violent altercation. So for men, don't deal with women who you find them triggering you, or women who you find they want to draw you into violence, because it's not good for you and it's not good for her. Okay? You end up in jail, she ends up in the mortuary. It's not good for anyone. So it's just something that should be avoided at all costs.
Mr. Jacob Aliet is an author, a thinker, and he sells these books. And I would, my podcast is about give me, I give you, So I would like you to tell the people where they get this book. I really, really love this one for some reason. The red version of it.
Okay.
Why did you decide that this is red and the other one is blue or whatever?
Mainly was to distinguish them. It was supposed to be purple, but
This is not purple?
no, that is maroon. That is maroon.
maroon. I don't
Yeah, that's
even know
maroon.
this.
It was supposed to be purple, but then we decided on the red with
I really, really love it.
with my cover designer. So I'm going to leave you that copy.
Thank you very
So
much.
that you can also have a read. So the books are available at Nuria Bookstore. Nuria Bookstore is in Bazaar Building, first floor. But those who cannot access it, also it's in Textbook Center stores worldwide. There's Kisumu, and I think it's mainly Kisumu and Nairobi. Nairobi, we have several Textbook Center stores. There are almost 10, so they can access them from those places.
Okay.
Those who are outside Kenya, all those books are available in Amazon. Just look for Jacob Aliet and you'll be able to access them. Yeah.
Okay. And you're bringing us the audio.
Yes, I'm going to be working on the audio, which will be coming out soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, great. And what are you working on now that you're bringing us in 2025?
Yeah, so I've been working on Unplugged 4. On Unplugged 4, the subject is going to be religion. Initially, I thought of dealing with the religion the way Rollo Tomasi has dealt with it, and where he was looking at religion, the contribution of religion towards making men weak. Because we normally say religion is the biggest symposium we have in the world. Symposium from the word simp. But I've decided to look at it more from a scientific perspective. Like, why are we religious? One thing that has been established is that if you eradicated all religions in the world today and you came back 50, 100 years later, you'll find people have other religions. There are many reasons why we tend to be religious, but I'm going to be looking at why do we believe the things we believe as far as religion, as far as God. I'm going to look at why do we believe, what is the evidence for the Big Bang? How old is the universe? How old is the earth? When did human beings show up on this planet? And why do we believe that?
Yeah.
We're going to look at, the Son of God, Jesus. Where was he born? Was he really born? Did he exist? Did he resurrect?
Really?
Yes, I'm going to look at all those questions. And what I do is, and I always tell guys, it's not about what I say. I'll just tell you what the experts are saying and what the evidence is saying. So many people don't know what the evidence is. Many people, for example, believe that the oldest book in the earth maybe is the Bible or the book of Genesis and so on. They don't know so many things in the Bible. For example, the book of Genesis starts by saying, let us make man in our own image. When you ask people, what does we mean? What does we mean when we say, let us make man? What does us mean? Who is being referred to? Many people believe it's God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. They don't know that the Trinity is something that was formed centuries later. At the time Genesis was being written, in the what we call the post-exilic period, there was no Holy Spirit, there was no Jesus at the time. So people need to understand how to read the Bible based on the historical context and what was existing at that time, and then bring them up to the present era, so that people can understand religion. Because even before the Bible, there were other religions.
Yeah.
What was sustaining them? Why did people believe the things that they believed? So that's what we are going to be looking at.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great. Thank you very much, people of the internet. This episode is sponsored by, you should start using the Aliet by Titan Impex. Is an import company that imports stuff from America to Kenya. If you want a TV that is being sold here for 600,000, they can bring it to you for 200,000 from Amazon. If you want a camera, you're podcasting, they can bring you podcasting equipment.
Okay.
If you have things in America that you want brought here because you've been living in America, but you want them to be used here, they can bring them for you. They can bring them by air. They can bring them by sea. So until another episode, bye for now.